Hey, good day everyone. Welcome back to the Academy. Today we would like to talk about regarding branding actually. Well, different people have different definitions of brands. So people often ask, what's the future of branding? In fact, is it about experience? Is it about value, amplifications? So before we jump straight to the future, let's talk about the fundamental, the foundation first. I'm Justin, the design director in Aleph. These sharing sessions will split into 3 parts: icebreaking, a little games about brand development, and brand opportunities. So imagine brand as a person. We will need a name, a face, their unique personalities, how they dress, etc. So let's look at the 8 tiles here. So from here, we try to crop certain parts, give a hint of the logo, but still recognizable. So top left, Amazon. Secondly, MasterCard. Third, Unilever. Fourth, Starbucks. Fifth, Mercedes-Benz. 6, Warner Brothers. 7, IKEA, because of the colors, still recognizable. Last one will be Nike. Even the swoosh itself, we crop this back part, you still can see a little bit of hint. So actually people can recognize and remember if we are unique enough. So the idea itself for this exercise is we need to create a unique identity in order to make sure that people recognize us. Doesn't matter. For example, when I see Azim from far, you can see that that's Azim because even from the back itself, you still recognize that's the power of uniqueness. So let's jump to the next slide. Look at all these beautiful balloons. What does it represent? Fun fact is like humans' eyes, when we see things, it will automatically connect with something that you're familiar with. So if you drink enough alcohol, you can recognize this ship itself. Yes, it's Guinness. The way they have the nitrogen bubbles on top, the form itself, creates a unique identity of the products for this brand. Secondly, will be these posters. Well, because the way that we stitch the poster together, you can tell that it's McDonald's. But if even we look at individually, you can still tell it's McDonald's because the M itself and the colors, everything is recognizable. How about this? Coke. The red colors and the graphics. The graphic itself, you have 2 hands comes together, but the treatment is from the logo, the swoosh from the Coca-Cola. And the bottles is very identical because they have a copyright on the bottle shape, in fact. If you can see, if you have a couple of little details when it comes to the Coke, posters, designs, applications, they use the bottles as the little details within the overall visuals. So for example, the fireworks, sometimes they use the bottles to form the fireworks, for example, because it's their part of their identity. How about this? If you love cars, you can straight away tell that it's BMW. When it comes to product design, they have their own unique identity as well. They are using the same design across whether you have from this S series, 5 series, or more. So that's the power of that's the beauty of it. When we apply the flexible system, it can be applied for different channels, different applications. This one, interesting, right? It is Lego. So what movie or series is this? It's Simpsons. The way is so simple enough that you can recognize it at a glance without second thoughts, because the character design that actually carry the unique identity again. So this is another practice that we would like to start from during the workshop to let clients understand that what's the importance of creating a unique identity. Last but not least, these two, maybe everyone knows that it's Apple, but why? Why do you know it's Apple? Maybe because from the keynote itself, they always, when they review their products, you can tell that, oh, this is the look for this year's iPhone. But in fact, they keep a little minor stuff on, for example, the top notch. So when you look at people's phone, right? When you look at a phone, the interface, you know that it's from iOS. And the product itself, when you have the top notch, then you know it's from Apple. Same thing for the latest series, the Dynamic Islands. People might argue that Android has this long time ago. But when the smart thing about Apple is that they will brand certain features to make sure that it's ownable. That's the power of Apple. That even that you feel like it's not new, it's not new stuff. But when the way they present, actually you feel more inspired. You feel that, oh, I need to get this. It's cool. So that's pretty much for the ice-breaking games. So after all this, what's next? What are the steps that actually build a good brand? What are the fundamentals? We break down into different parts. We have typically we have brand discovery. After that, we have brand strategy, brand development, and brand amplifications. So those are the steps that actually we need to go through in order to make a good foundations. So let's start with the brand discovery. Brand discovery, as we know, when we do workshop, is quite important because we need to discover from the bottom. We need to dig deep in order to understand. So listen and understand during this stage is extremely crucial. What we do during the brand discovery, we have brand audit as the main anchor. Then we split into internal research and external research. So from the brand audit perspective, we have identity audit, we have brand health tracking, semiotic analysis, customer journey mapping, customer segmentations, benchmarking, and competitive analysis. I think those are quite straightforward. Maybe you ask what is semiotic analysis? Semiotic analysis is from the identity standpoint, is what colors do we use? What kind of visuals, anchors, symbolism we use to tell the stories. So those we need to break it down. Then we come to the internal research. A good brand cannot, how should I say this? A good brand itself, right, is actually built within. Internally, we need to believe and we need to have a purpose in order to make external success. So that's another important point as well. So during internal research, we have internal focus groups and surveys, internal communication audit, brand visioning workshop, and internal hackathon. So I would dive deep later on for the brand visioning workshop to break it down that what should we cover. Internal hackathon is we need to fix the internal issues. For example, the process part, the SOPs, and the internal culture. So those are the stuff that we dive deep. External research, market research and analysis, qualitative and quantitative research, customer experience audit, and transporting. So let's go to the future, visioning workshop. So when we do a workshop, it should be the place that actually can inspire us and our clients. So they feel like, oh, actually we should do this, actually we should do that. It depends on the context. For example, if I were to open a hotel, particularly hotel brand, hospitality, then maybe it should be slightly in the more chilling, relaxed kind of the spot. Now maybe we go to the beach to do our workshop. Or if we were to open a F&B, we can go to a cafe, a restaurant, somewhere that feel inspired, sit down. So they can have this immersive experience in context to inspire them to have more ideas, how to push their brands forward. Or maybe we can do it in future, we can do it in the Facebook horizons, metaverse. Everyone just be their own avatar, the way we interact to be the better future together. So next we're going to talk about the brand visioning workshop. This is from the left to right. We have different steps. It depends. It will change accordingly. It depends on the needs of the brief. First thing will be icebreaker, like what I did before. We're gonna have a brand related games to let people to understand about the brand. And next one will be findings. Share external and internal reports During the research stage, we will actually dive deep to ask the focus group or IDIs. It's not just about we ask the board directors what they want. We always ask the people on the ground, how do they feel in the company? What can we improve? Because the leadership role, the top management, they might or might not able to capture all the stuff. Maybe they will get the gist of it, but in details, they are not aware of the main issues that actually triggered the bigger ones. So the people on the grounds are quite important. It means we include. It means we are being inclusive as well. Inclusivity is a quite important values for a company. So everyone has an equal part to say, equal opportunities. So after that, we'll talk about key takeaways and next steps moving forward. So after that, once we know our issues or challenges, we need to map out our brand persona. So this is me currently. So what's my future, maybe 10 years down the road? So imagine the future. What would you like to be? In this practice, normally we have magazines, a lot of magazines. So we just have scissors and tape. They just cut it out. For example, I want to be Tony Stark, Avengers, as the main characters for the future because he's smart, he's innovative, and he has a sense of humor as well. So there's good balance. So I put it there. Then what else? Maybe if I were to describe me as a car, I'll put a car there. Maybe I were to describe me as a food, I'll put a food there. So different components come together. We kind of can imagine a bigger picture that what our brand persona is going to be in future. After that, we'll dive into future world. Future world is all about what if. What if our culture is going to be like this? What if we win awards for this project? What if we have better technologies? How are we going to enable them? How are we going to use them? So, and what else? Future world itself, we have different groups to tackle different topics. You can have, for example, culture. It doesn't have to be only HR. It can be engineers. It can be designers. It can be different departments come together as one to tackle the culture bits because we need to have different perspective, different thoughts when we share our ideas. So we look at it in a new way rather than the old way itself. After the future worlds, we will dive deep into our purpose. Let's build our purpose together. What do we stand for? That's the part that we are finding our DNA, in fact. So it might seem like it's an easy task, but this workshop itself, we have a lot of ideas, a lot of data, but how are we going to distill back to the very simple phrase or maybe a statement to summarize all this? That's the part that is very complicated. It requires a lot of thinking, a lot of support from the insights point of view in order to get there. So this is one of the framework we're going to use. It's called Brand Spark. So from the left, what can we offer? Our product features. Second, leading up, reasons to believe. Our functional benefit is like our USPs. What makes us so different? After that, how do users feel? Our emotional benefit. Once I use this product, how do we feel? I feel excited, I feel happy. And what do we stand for? That's our brand essence. And all this will be leading up to our main purpose. If I give an example, what can we offer? Product features, so maybe I'm selling shoes, maybe I said sports shoes. Reasons to believe. This sports shoes itself has a good technology base. It will help you to feel lighter, move faster, and good value. How do users feel when they use this, when they have these sports shoes? So they feel like, oh, actually it's quite light. I think I have freedom to explore more stuff. I think I have the energy to run further, to run faster. So that's for the emotional benefits. People will feel like this is quite important because we don't always focus on the functional. Functional is good to build as a fundamental to build on the emotional benefits. After that, what do we stand for? For if I use Nike example, which is just do it, or anything is possible once I have these sports shoes. Purpose itself is that we need to inspire maybe everybody in this world. Once you have a body, then you can be an athlete. That's coined from the Nike perspective. So that's pretty much the brand spark part. After we finalize our brand strategy, that from the brand spark itself, once we build on that, then we need to have a story and a concept. So during the brand developments, we'll have the identity analysis. So from the left, you can see traditional, middle one dominant, right one is emergent. I put it as an example here. So the traditional one looks like, I use cube as the examples. So the one on the left is a cube, right? The look itself feels quite, the reason I put traditional because it's quite expected. Dominant is the one that actually in the market currently on the trend itself. Simplicities, modern, the shape can be applied for different channels, different applications, go up, go small, it's still possible. Emergent is those kind of very imaginative, innovative kind of the executions. I use block as the examples. So this allows us to know that which way to go from the identity standpoint. Sometimes clients, they feel like, oh, actually I'm not there yet. How should we go? If I push too much to emergent route, maybe it's a bit too much for them. But there's a balance between how much we should push and how much we should stay through our authenticity. For example, if I like a bank, we have heritage. We've been in the industry for 100 years, 150 years, decades. So that change itself may or may not actually help them to achieve into the future faster. So there's the part that we always need to find a balance. It's not that as a designers, it's not that we, or as a consultant, it's not that we are saying that, oh, actually we should push for the emergent road always. It really depends on the brand. So it depends on our brand personality, but still tie back to our brand strategy. If the brand itself should be more heritage oriented, then the look itself shouldn't be too emergent, maybe, or maybe not. It's up for discussions. So the key takeaways here is that to summarize the observations and explain which space to go. Next one, we have color spectrum. Color spectrum, we will need to identify within the competitor itself what colors they use, what are the reasons they use those colors. So the idea is to differentiate our brands from the competitors and tie it back to the brand personality with color psychologies. All right, now is the fun part that we can explore freely. So during the concept stage, right, designers tend to be very excited because we can explore a lot of different possibilities that actually tie back to the brand strategy. So, but what are the steps that are more efficient, more productive in order to spark ideas? We tend to go straight to the executions. For example, I will search on the Pinterest logo design. Wow, look at all this interesting logo. It's nice, the color is nice, the shape is nice, modern, futuristic. But those are output. Those already finalized. What's the story behind? What can we anchor? What makes it so unique? So that's the part that I will encourage designers to look for inspiration point rather than dive straight to the logo design itself. Couple of examples that we can spark inspirations. We can look at our daily life. We can look at images. We can look at movies. We can look at we can do sports. We can look at any single stuff that actually can inspire you to create the link for the story. So let me give you a little bit of the scenarios. So I was working on this project a couple of months ago. The brief is to refresh the brand identity. They are a kind of like creative agencies. They are very good at festive campaign executions. So we had a chat with the team and the MD itself. What makes them so special? What makes them stand out in the market compared to other boutique agencies? We're trying to crack this, trying to find something, some visual angles that can connect and resonate within them. So I was driving back home, I still remember. Then there was one song came out. It's Alicia Keys' The Girl Is on Fire. I was like, oh, maybe we should use fire as the main anchor, because the way they work these agencies, they are very passionate, they know what they want, and full of fresh ideas. So I can feel the fire with them when I talk to them. So I texted back to the MD, like, oh, what if we use fire as the main anchors? They were like, yeah, sure, let's explore that. It feels quite, I think the way we work actually is quite fire, quite full of passions, this kind of a narrative. But after a few explorations, they feel like, hey, the expression itself, fire, the intention is good, the essence is good, but when we translate into the visuals, it feels like we are like those, it's too funky for them. It's too much, too aggressive, they feel. But they like the idea of fire. So what else we can have the same kind of similar essence? Then we were jamming a bit. Then the team came up with another idea. It's torchlight. It's still not fire, but it's the light that actually inspires. It's kind of the same but a bit different. So the idea itself is like we only use torchlight where we can't see things clearly. So imagine we are in the dark room. Torchlight is the only way we can see things. It's just like the agency is leading the way, guiding our clients for the better future. We are like the light, leading the way. So they really like the idea itself. Then we dive into executions, which is the logo first. I will use code name as yellow. So I will use yellow as a code name. Then we explore different stuff that can express torchlight, lines, shapes. Everything kind of makes sense. And let me reveal to you this, like the logo itself, the symbol, torchlight, the input and the output. So the output is part of the solutions, the yellow lights part, and the torch itself is like our knowledge, our capabilities within the company. So from input to output, capabilities to solutions. After that, we explore different grids, different way that we showcase our super graphics. We are using, we own the light beam, so we use light beam as the executions. Primary light beam, secondary light beam, before portrait, landscape, different sizes as well. So it's more flexible. The way we express it is quite dynamic as well. Then we test it on the application itself, billboards, posters, tote bag, name cards, etc. So, all in all, to summarize, when it comes to identity design, we are actually building a brand system. We have the logos, we have the colors, we have the typography, iconography, grids, super graphics, illustrations, motion theory, and sonic identity. Sonic identity is, for example, Intel, boom, 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 as during the outro, or Netflix, ding, ding. You know that it belongs to them. So that's the good part of sonic, another touch point for sonic identity, to spark emotions from music point of view. Yep, so that's it for the story and concept and the brand system itself. So now I would like to introduce Faras, our ACD, to talk about case studies, BU. Over to you, Faras.
Right, thank you, Justin. So BU was designed to broaden financial inclusion, revolutionizing the way Bank Islam connects with Malaysia's growing digital-led generation. And through our research and on-ground interviews at our local universities, we discovered that university students in Malaysia need to open a Bank Islam account in order for them to enroll to that particular university. And we realized that once they're done paying their student loans, off they go, meaning no longer doing any business with Bank Islam. So there's no other motivation for them to stay on with Bank Islam, since the experience then it's limited to the ordinary banking stuff. So our strategy is to create a new banking experience that empowers youth and reach their lifestyle and goals. So our goal was to craft a memorable brand or a product that would resonate with our Malaysian audience. So BU, which translates Be Yourself, is our mantra for empowering Malaysian youth to live their lives and achieve their goals on a daily basis. So we knew right away that bright, bold pink would punctuate BU's vivid, youthful lifestyle experience, embracing the importance of visual representation for the younger generation, we made custom illustration prominent all over the app, in line with BU's youthful identity. So inspired by the idea to empower youth to be the best version of themselves, we crafted a brand mark or a logo tag, if you will, that represents this whole entire idea. Talking a bit more about the app itself, a unique addition to what would have otherwise been a regular app, the gig marketplace allows youth to not only manage their money better or financial better, but also consider additional and alternative streams of income. In this space, we made it possible to search for various opportunities via different partners, be it freelance project or even part-time or full-time or even ad hoc jobs. So again, all in all, that's our whole entire experience or engagement with Bank Islam. And back to you, Justin.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Faras. The first Islamic neobank is very exciting and very inspiring. Definitely looking forward for it. So what's next? Last part would be, we need to talk about brand opportunities. Once we have a strong foundation of the brand, how can we amplify it? Let's look at this. Not hot news, I would say, but I think pretty much everyone is aware of that, which is a Figma and Adobe. So I still remember during this news when everyone was talking about it, and I was looking at it on our WhatsApp, I was quite shocked because I was quite surprised that they are actually merging together as one. Because the way although both are tools, but Figma, their vision is like to make design accessible to everyone, whereas Adobe is the opposite. Figma itself is free. You can use it on web. It doesn't have to be on the app itself. You don't need to download. Everything is so easy to collaborate, and it's not built only for the designers. Even if you are like whichever person that actually can use this app, which is very good, very powerful tool. But so that's the part that I was looking forward to see how can they collaborate or push these two amazing softwares together as one. So that's on the Figma and Adobe side. Next up will be GXX. So this new emerging new bank or digital bank, if you like, they are actually it's Grab and Singtel. They are rolling out this banking service a few weeks ago. Nowadays, like, we have a lot of digital banks coming out. So what makes us so different from others? This is the part that I was quite curious about it, because I think the good point, or the strength rather, they have is the ecosystem from Grab and Singtel together. One is the tech company, another one is a telco, and Grab, they have the financial services years already, in a few years. So what can they do from this new brand, GXS, in future? They are saying that from the news itself, they are targeting the young users and the gig economy workers. And they're trying to compete with those like big company like Ant or DBS, OCBCs. So they are like a is it called like silver bullet, to make sure that they have their own sweet spot in this area. So I look forward for them to see how this brand gonna emerge and evolve in future. So last but not least, Starbucks Odyssey. Starbucks actually launched this blockchain-based loyalty program and trying to build a NFTs community. So when it comes to blockchain, right? If you ask people on the street, how would they react? How would they say? What kind of answers they will get? They'll probably say that, NFTs, Bitcoin. What else? What are the actual benefits from the brand itself giving back to the users? So if not, they would just say, it's just another new emerging technology that actually doesn't have any actual benefits to them. This case study, Starbucks Odyssey, is a good one because we can tell they are actually leveraging the emerging technologies and how to bring it back to the community. So this is how they do it. The users can collect the journey stamps by taking on the challenges, interactive games. They are related to the brand story through the web app. So what are journey stamps? Journey stamps are another terms that they use it for as NFTs collectibles. They are not going to use those tech jargon because they feel like journey stamp is more approachable, which is very on brand for Starbucks. And we do not need to have a crypto wallet to purchase the limited edition of NFTs. You can use debit or credit cards. So, which is quite good because we are trying to make this technology more simple, easy to access, so everyone can experience it. And last, the technology-wise, they use this proof-of-stake blockchain technology as the main infrastructures provided by Polygon because it uses less energy and aligns with their sustainability goals. So when it comes to brand looking for partners, right, they will evaluate their the company's background, technologies, purpose, values, make sure that both are aligned. So the key takeaways here is like, once we have a strong foundation for the brand, we should accelerate and amplify the brand engagement through emerging technologies and drive values to the customers. So it's not just from the brand perspective, from the end user's perspective as well. It's win-win situations. Hence, this is a good case studies. So I think that's all for today. Thank you so much for your time. A big shout out to the Academy team. As you know, we do this every month. So stay tuned for our next sessions. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you. Have a good day.